Hey there, Libra. Welcome into my channel, Joy to the World. I am your reader, Melissa Joy, and we're taking a peek at a few things going on, and you're kicking it off with Mary L. Yes, kicking, boop, boop, getting in closer. It's approaching. You're letting me know in the background, though, that your only limitation, my friend, is irritation. And it shows that you've been getting irritated with yourself for having not gotten it right by now, having not figured it out by now, having been burned in love so many times. And this love can take on every facet, from friends to whatever else. And people, once they get all the goods, they move on. Well, that's because you're a treasure. Hello? You're a treasure. And a treasure, how does it invest in itself? Well, that's a good question. So why don't we ask and find out? First and foremost, you're like that soul card came for us, Joy. So when I brought down my mind deck, it's actually some moon oracle or something, but to me it represents the mind and what's going on in the mind. And there's a lot of headspace energy going on right now, especially around you, Libra. And it has been a lot of maniacal mind, a lot of mastermind, but you haven't been the master. And that is disappointing. And maybe it's coming to a state where you're recognizing that, maybe not in so many words, but that would be the word for what you're experiencing. But this is the soul key. These are the soul key cards. That's not the name, but that's what they represent to me. Look at that. One eye illumined, okay? So they're really wanting to bring in the understanding of your actions impacting your potential, all right? So the action potential, of course, can occur here, like we've talked about in several chit-chats about putting your hands together. There's this magic key inside of here that when they touch, it can then circulate through, and it's like driving your own vehicle, charging your own battery, revving up your electric car so that whenever you're ready to get up and go, or use your imagination, or somebody's saying divinate, meaning create with yourself, it's gonna be there. And it won't feel like that little something is missing, that kickoff of the car, the turning over the engine, that you have to go get a spark from somewhere else. You got plenty of spark, my friend. Plenty of spark. Ooh, plenty of spark. Let's just do this for a second. If that's you, you got plenty. If that's you, you got plenty. And when you begin to know and live from your plenty, then you got megaplex plenty. Why not? Why not enjoy the fruits of who you are and begin to feel really empowered by that, intimate with it, so that you could recognize it. They're saying cognize it, meaning knowing from your mind what words you would apply to those feelings. All right? Because you're very feelings based. You're very sensory induced. And so a lot of times you look for things to induce your senses. People, places, things, liquids, fire, whatever else, but they're talking about a holy fire. Okay, friend, come on. Come out of Gehenna and the perpetual fire of the never-ending story. All right, so let's get in here and let's see what that creationary power is. All right, it's everlasting and it is divine. We're working out a few kinks in the nervous system. And so you might want to check out Scorpio, because that's the part of the nervous system we're talking about. And Libra used to be attached to Scorpio, and then it was deemed as the claws. That's not fun. Having to be the go-between between the predator and the prey, the mediator for everybody else's life. Oh, you might want to back up and watch Virgo too. There seems to be some powerful sandwich energy going on here. Let's do this, Libra. Let's get you into the flow by separating you out from the drama and the distraction and the being used and utilized, which I call Life University. Let's get out of those scales. Let's get out of that. And let's get into the treasure of who you are. All right? Tell us about this treasure of Libra, that a lot of times I find problems or difficulties are solved by taking a deeper look at who we are, what power and magic we do have, what we can enjoy, because whatever direction we go in is what we're going to get more of. So if we're turning around, looking side-eye, going around, trying to figure out how to fix this, or feeling those feelings, man, that's going to be some heavy stuff. And when we spend time doing that, we're actually creating things that haven't shown up yet. So there's a time lag, a time delay. And so after you do that mulling around and whatever, you might feel relieved and feel better, and it's because it got out of you. And where did it go? Into your future, and it's coming your way. So instead, let's just break that pattern, that habit, and get into this new form of stimulation of exploring your senses with yourself. Eating foods that bring you great pleasure, taking time to smell it while you're drinking your coffee, or if you're delving into some Danish, feel it moving around your mouth, not just the taste, feel the texture. Close your eyes and feel the sensations and the sounds that it's resonating into your mind, like yum. And a lot of times we'll make them internally. Let it escape your lips if it needs to. Be like, okay. I don't know who thinks that's a crock of shit, but all right, because there's some flies sitting around going, we're gonna jump on that. These are just samples of what it could be like, right? But getting into those senses and allowing them to rise to the surface, because life is dull and never ending when you sit there and go, oh, that's funny, but you don't actually laugh, right? Let's get you into that firepower with yourself, those senses with yourself, like what we saw on that tree. Is it still there? Yes. Look at that. Multiplex, multi-sensory, orgasmic mind, spirit, soul, brain, body. Psh, your brain will send it out everywhere. Some could call it Kundalini rising, but it's so much more than just that. It's a thing that by your choosing, it doesn't overtake you. Well, you're still on the fence, and that's okay. Give it time. It's not my words that give you power or bring you power. It's just they're shedding some light, because that's all you ask for, right? These are things that maybe a little time and a little reflection, maybe a little food, a little play, a little sleep, it brings it up in your own voice. And that is what I'm looking for here at this channel. Your sensational life coming in your flavor, and you still pulled it back out of the deck. Back out of the deck. Now, if you look closely at those wings, they are made of fur, my friends. Super fantastic. Senses and delights that haven't even been experienced in this world. Things coming together in a powerful way, synergistic way. Just like there are some people that are tetrachromats. They have an extra, I think, a rod. And so it takes an exponent and it heightens it to the highest heights. But yeah, they're still wanting the connection with the other person. That's up to you. That's up to you. But they've been talking, like, for a short period of time, there are those of us as this transition is being made, to spend a little extra personal time. That could be 10 minutes a day. That really is not taking away. It's kind of like exercise. As you invest it, it gives back 5 times as much throughout the day. Plus, it reduces stress and it pulls off these temptations and distractions that you wouldn't even know, and just tempted me into to get off your path and onto someone else's. Do you know what I mean? And when you do that, that affords other things to come into your realm that you don't want to overtake you. And they're the cycle of the perpetual heartache and loss. You're like, okay, pull me out. How come it looks this way and sounds that way? Or it looks this way and it sounds that way? Look again. Look at those wings rising up. Maybe it's Atlantean energy. Maybe it's finally giving yourself permission to embrace your spirit and flow as you go, not always having to get somebody else on board and calling them up. Call your spirit up. Call your angels up. Call your guides up. Call your music up. Conjure it into your playlist and set out for a drive. Now that's what we're talking about. Maybe hit some drive-thrus and get you some treats up in the car while you're going, and just have your music going and be peeling down the road with no destination, just going out and getting your feels on what roads feel right to you. Like there were certain back roads that I used to ride on, and different ones called based on what kind of feeling I needed to experience. Not just that ruminating in your mind. You're telling me that, like, this is the easiest escape, the way to vent out those energies and just dissipate them out into life itself, and not moving it forward into your life. Wow. Dynamic synergy. I could pull a bunch of cards, but why else on all that? Let's just get you one energy support card here to zhuzh you on. Some of you, it's a night ride. Ooh, night rider. Kit, your car. That's the bunny love going on here. We're in the year of the rabbit. And you see the time with yourself just to move it and to process that. So maybe some of you, it's by the moonlight. taking an evening drive so that there aren't all those visual distractions going on around you, and so you can just let your whole mind escape. It's kind of like when they pour a red wine and they have to let it breathe first. You don't have to, but it makes it flat and edgy and like little scales in your mouth, as opposed to when it's given a little time to breathe, it actually blooms and it becomes round. And so it moves around in your mouth easily, because round and round, right? But not round and round. It's a whole different way of seeing things. Whole different way of seeing things. See, same person. It gets it going off in these perpendicular arrays so that it just sheds off you, like when a dog shakes the water off their back. You know how their skin goes? If you ever do it in slow-mo, it's really cool to watch. And it's that same type of energy going on here. Getting back to your nature and the way that you process and get that stuff off. So I hope maybe you add that into your repertoire, Libra, as something nice and easy for a way to clear your mind, to clear out the old, to clear out the hurts and the difficult situations, and sometimes just clear your head so that what remains is totally you. And it makes it easy to begin to see how you could prosper, how you can be plenty in your own right, that you draw in these whole energies, these round energies. That's exciting, Libra. All right, y'all know, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Leave some comments and whatever else. And always remember, I love you.